Paul, good afternoon, welcome.
It's great to be here.
We can't have you here without kicking off with something about the chaotic state of politics at the moment. We've got Keir Starmer coasting, I mean that in the nicest possible way. We've got Rishi Sunak making no imprint at all, in fact, losing it by the day. And then we've got the Reform Party sort of coming from nowhere, climbing up on the heels of Conservatives. What the hell is going on?
What's interesting about the Reform clawing their way up into double figures is I talk to quite a lot of people who do polling, and one of the things that they say is that don't assume that they're all Tories. Even though the Tories are losing, the graph goes, the Tory graph goes down, the Reform graph goes up. A lot of those people are the classic ex-Labour Red Wall voters. I'm from the north of England, as you can hear. A lot of people were never Tories, and they voted tactically for Johnson in 2019. And don't assume that it's the immigration politics of reform completely that it's driving them to that. There's a sort of anti-politics thing going on. We're sick of them all. So that's how I'd explain the reform thing. Sunak, he's just. I would say there is no project. The first project we'll deliver 5 things. They didn't deliver them. Then it was we'll change things, but they didn't deliver that. I mean, if you're obsessed with and worried about people crossing the channel, we've had one of the biggest days of that this week. It's just conservatism to me needs to kind of rethink itself and decide what it wants to be, and it can't be that when it's a beleaguered government losing probably about 1 or 2 MPs per month, either from quitting or getting chucked out of Parliament. It's just time for them to go. And fair enough, Sunak gets to choose when, but I kind of wish it was soon, because there are when we're going to talk about defence, cross-party, there are big issues and big decisions to be made about defence. The fag end of a government can't make.
Yeah, because there's a long-term play.
So much of defence is 5, 10, 20 years.
Yeah. So from a Keir Starmer point of view, then, I say he's coasting. I meant that positively. So I suppose he must be thinking, not what have I got to do to win, but what have I got to avoid doing to lose?
What everybody in Labour talks about is neither of the above. They talk about, can we execute in power? That's what they talk about. Yeah. And they know, because the way government has changed, even in the 14 years since Labour's been in power, is that it's an all or nothing game. You get so much access to everything. And when we talk about defence, it's really obvious. John Healey often says, he has a team of 4 people in an office, one of whom is an admin worker, and all very good and competent. And what the other one another is a press person. 4 people to mirror a department of 3,000, with no sight lines. But that's also true of Treasury. It's little, Labour's Treasury teams, maybe 40 or 50 people now. But it's preparing for government and then preparing to deal with what hits you. The moment you walk through any ministry, of course, as you know, you get 14 years worth of undisclosed information. And defence might not be the worst one, but it'll certainly be an interesting one for if John Healey, the Shadow Defence, walks in to find out what has been going on. So Labour worries about, obviously, can we win? There is a little bit of a worry because there are some left parties now standing. There are a few independent candidates who are very fired up over the Gaza issue that might take votes from them. But I think Labour's pretty confident it can win. But can they govern and make the difference they need to make up front? Because they don't have long. Liz Truss only had 49 days.